Okay, so let's go ahead and look what we're going to do. Let me adjust a little bit my screen because something Windows kind of playing around. And I'm recording like in 4K, so I'm going to probably put it 1080. Because of that, some of these properties will look a little bit tiny. I will try to zoom in and showing them. But the problem is when you work with a lot of nodes, and you'll see how many we have it, you want to have a lot of space. Otherwise, it's become very hard to navigate. So again, I will point and will zoom in on specific properties. But sorry if sometimes we'll have it screened here and our preview won't be displayed. Just overall, its main reason, as I said before, it's because how we'll work with the nodes, how we will adjust them. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. First, what we're going to do, it is look on our root, and we're going to create a flower. Because for the flower, I want to use the seasons, I want to use it age, and see how we can connect and control those things. A flower will provide for us a lot of variety of things, but based on this knowledge, you can apply this to the tree or other elements. And a flower, again, will have it way more putting in than maybe some other plants. So in this case, will work very well for us. And doing this, first, we'll go just create a simple branch segment. This is just a stick in the ground. And I will connect this to the root. As we connect to the root, let's zoom out. Here we have one, but one thing I want to do is go in File, Options. In Options, we'll look right here and it says meters. And because I want to create flower, easy to work with centimeters, or you can go to inches, wherever you want it. We'll go with centimeters and click OK. You see the scale on the grid kind of change it. And inside the branch, now we can switch. So I want to put it maybe 100. So 100 centimeters, it's equal 1 meter. So right here, you can see we have it our plant. Okay. There you go. Let's a little bit readjusting so we can see better. Here's our stem, and this is full growing. 1 meter, I'll say when it's plant, it's fully grown. If you have questions about some plants that you want to create a realistic plant, you can always refer to like Wikipedia or some other online resources to find what you needed, what size or other things. Okay, so this is our first segment, and as a beginning, what's happening, I want to connect this to age, and if we look on the setup, we'll notice they're gray out, and they gray out for reasons like age, health, time and season, because nothing is connected, and they're not visible here. Usually when you open, let's go expand this, expand additional parameters, segment, expand segment, and we have it link. And if I want to connect link, when I start dragging, they appear. And it's not bad because we can connect to the edge, but sometimes when you go back, they disappear. They still be there, but they're just hiding. And it's a nice, clean way to work when you don't need this, but actually I want to display them. I want to display all those connections because we're going primarily working with those elements. To make them display, we'll right-click on the screen and going to the options, and in our options, we'll just select Show Control Nodes. So now we'll have these nodes display. They won't hide from us, and let's make it a little bit easier. But you notice right here, I connected link to the edge. So age, when it's switch, and right now it's at to 20 years. I think it's in years. I'm not sure what it is, but you notice if we're going, it's growing. And maximum, because we have 10 centimeters, is going to 20 centimeters. But I found out if we just make age, for example, perennial, and we have it 1 year, problem with this, it's only have it 0 or 1. It does not give me this smooth transition like 0.1, 2, 3. No, it's just only 0 or 1. So because of that, I have some limitation to do this. On this case, we'll go and set up age 10. Let's go just 10 years. We pretend it is how long it will leave it, okay? And this again, we kind of expanded, but it does not going all the way up. To control, we can always going inside, let's go into filters, and we'll go take multiplication, and we'll just run to multiply. For us, it will be easy because we want 1 meter, and multiply probably by 10. So it will give it us as we're going on setup. Full growing 10, it's 1 meter because we have a 10 multiplied by 10. And as we're going down, you can see it is kind of, but again, how I said before, it does not necessarily give us this smooth transition. It's have these steps. If you're very picky, you could overcome this with some other additional parameters, but for now, let's leave it as is. So we do edit our growing element, how fast it's going. Let's go ahead and next what we want to do, it's maybe look what else we have here. And you notice we have it seasons and we'll have it health. Let's go look on the seasons. And the seasons, we have it winter, spring, summer, and fall. And health, we have it dying or thriving. You know what, let's go first, we'll go using some of this health one to our stem, and because this will help us to see how we can use it smooth map to mapping specific parameters that we're going to use, and we'll use it smooth map quite a bit often in other elements. What does the smooth map help us? So we'll go in the filters and select it right here, smooth map, and a smooth map, it accepts parameters range we wanted and map it them to properly parameter output. For example, on the health, if we look on the setup, it's showing from percentage, but actually output, it's working from 0 to 1. So it's going 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and so on. So we can connect this to the health. In this case, when we connect in smooth map, we want specify, we want set 0 to 1. And of course, output values, we can go from 0 to 1. Just for now, we will modify those values later, but for now, we can set to this. There's many ways we can modify how our plants doing when it's thriving or dying or all this stuff. I will just show one example, but we also will apply with coloring later and so on. We'll go inside influence on our branch, and you know what, till it's branch, let's go call it stem, okay? And as I'm here, I'll just go replace colors. Just for fun, let's go with blue so we know it's kind of different color. Okay, and what I want to do, I'll go in a local base enable and we'll switch this to the swirl just for now. And let's go say maybe 4, 3, 8. So we'll just play like this. And you can see how it's very twisty, and twisty because our string is very high. We can control string, make it smaller, and you can see how the plant a little bit twisty. I think that will give it kind of weird effect, like plant shrinking or something. So next what we want to do is go expand our influencer right here. And you'll notice we have it a local base. So again, blue we can connect, and it's kind of tealish color. That is mean we need to expand this. So let's go click again and expand. And in expand, we can see our parameters. One, we have our directional. That is display exactly the number I put it, and a string. String is what we interested. So let's go ahead and connect to our string. Notice how it's come up very big, and it's because our map. Here's interesting things. So let's go back to setup and say, what if I'm dying? And a dying is become straight. Thriving is become all this twisty. The probably reason is our smooth map need map it properly. Right now, we're from 0 to 1. Except opposite, I want when it is on the upper value, I want it is have it 0. So I want this be straight. And opposite, when I want dying lower value, I want to be like 0.16, just a little bit on a maximum. So in this case, when we go setup, you can see when it's dying, it's kind of start a little bit twisty, and when it's thriving, it's a straight and nice. Again, let's go look on the parameters, and you can modify. Notice what I did. Our low value, it's actually higher than upper value in output range. So we inverse this. And then many times in other ones, when we start using smooth maps, sometimes we will inverse parameters or map it them in specific way as we need it. And this is very useful because and many times in the plants, we'll have it a different parameters, different height, whatever, and we want to map them to like season, health, and age. And with the smooth maps, we can easy to map to parameters we wanted. So I think that will work for now. Again, dying and starving, we may modify, we may use a different from swirl, maybe something different effect, but this is giving us point how the health will affect shape and dynamics of our plant. Same things we can also after connect to the coloring to materials, but we'll look on this later as we're going on. Okay, so right here is my plant. Next from the plant, let's think about on the top, I want to create flower. And by the way, so what we're going to do, we'll create a plant, we'll create a seed right here, which will grow and growing. We'll create all our leaves around, and we're also going to create some on a stem, another leaf. So we'll do all plant with all the cycling, what's going on. Okay, so for this, we're going and start creating flower on the top. And to do this, let's go right click geometry, and we're going to select a hydra. No, actually, Urish. Urish is given us like a ball, but we can connect multiple different elements. So this will be our middle part of the flower. And let's go just maybe set this to the red color. And for some reason, this color selection always pop up on a side of my screen. So I'll need kind of bring back that one. Okay. And this, it will connecting to our stem. And we want to connect this to first. Let's go ahead. It will be seed main. We'll just name it so we know it is kind of main seed one. And let's connect this to no children. And right here you can see, woo, we have a lot of them up here. That is to fix. We'll go inside the stem, segment, and actually right here main seed. And let's assign this tip of the segment. And we also, problem is, if you notice, it is on a side because we need to switch in orientation, angle 0 and random 0. So it will just stick precisely on the top. It's where we want this location. But this is just a one ball. The seed usually have a bunch of small teeny tiny going around. So let's go for this geometry, create ball primitive. Let's go call it seeds. So it's multiple ones. And we'll just connect it. And now let's look a little bit closer to different type of the seeds. Of course, we can change shape and other stuff. The one thing on a good design practice, just let you know, this is not a perfect actually, because we have a lot of polygons. And if it's small plant like this, hardly be visible. And if you have thousands of them, it will add 1,000 polygons. So what you actually want to do is create a one ball, it's a simple primitive, and apply displacement map to create the shape. String of displacement map can create a different size of those seeds. This is one way to do it, and depending on time we may do this, but reason is why I'm doing this way, because to showing you how to connect and how to link those different parameters together. So this is more think about as a learning process to see possibilities of doing. But again, I said on the best practice, you probably want to use just simple ball and apply displacement to simulate the seeds. Okay, so right here, let's go expand our main seed and our seeds. And in this case, what we want to do is control. And we want control actually additional parameters. Let's go urge, geometry. We want control radius. Radius here. Let's go ball and expand ball. And right here, radius. So we want control these two radiuses. And we want control them, base it on the season and base it on the age. Because with a season, if you're in a winter time, we don't want actual, or a beginning seed is not created. Okay, and as spring started growing, summer probably get closer to be done, and fall it stop growing, but it still be there. So we actually have it 4 steps we want to do this. Okay, and To do this, we actually need to separate our seasons. If you look right on a setup, in our seasons, we have it 1, 2, 3, 4. How we can do this? It is by using select input selectors. So let's go ahead and combiners. And in combiners, we have right here input selector. What an input selector does, it is accept inputs, and as value change, it's equally divided between them. So we can have it as many as we wanted or as less as we wanted. So let's go ahead right now, we expand it, and our selector, it's our seasons for this. So we'll just go right here. Okay, now we need to specify what to select from which inputs. And our first input, if we look on the seasons, it is a winter. We don't want to display anything in the winter. And for this, we'll go create constant number. And let's go this constant number. We'll just set 0 or maybe 0.1. We just select small one and we'll connect. So this to preview, I know we'll do something else, but for now, let's go just connect to radius here and we'll connect radius here. Notice I can connect from one output to control two same. And we do have it, but teeny tiny right there. Okay, so this is a control for our fall, for our winter. So in the spring, it started growing, but it is growing slow. So for this, we'll go again, filters, and we'll create another smooth map. And smooth map, what we want to do is connect to the seasons, okay? And the seasons, again, from 0 to 1, and we connect from 0 to 1. And this is give it us maximum value after 1, and we'll connect to input 1. So let's see, it does not change anything here, but if we look on the setup, because it's in a winter, but if we start going to the spring, it starts changing, so it starts growing. So this is one, okay, and a smooth map, we can actually go back and probably modify a little bit more on the parameters. But our next step is actually take, and the reason is why actually you notice it's a jumpy little bit, because it is take from two parameters and divide between those two parameters. So it will work only on the middle. What we want to do is add 4 parameters, so it's equally divide by them. By the way, this is if you say why we're here, it's when it's jumping on the middle, because only two parameters. So let's add 2 more of those parameters, and one of them will be on a fall. And a fall, I want fix. So for this one, we'll go to constant. We'll create another constant number, but let's say maximum size of 1. We can also change all the sizes. And you know what? I'll wait for this one till we're going and create actually one more, because we need to create, and let's go directly from seasons. We'll go to create input. Okay, so what we now connecting, we can connect our constant input 3 right here. Notice as I'm adding more and more new, more and more new appears. Let's go now and set up and see what we have. So we have it our winter. Okay, we start going to little bit spring, and you see how it start growing in the spring, getting bigger, summer, almost big, and in the fall, it's almost does not change right here. So if you see our fall going around, it's hold our size. So this is about what I want to do for this seed. But we have a couple problems. One, it is, if we look on a seed and we're going back to age, let's make it smaller. Well, it is, okay, let me see where we are right here. Let's go bring up a little bit. Well, we still have it exactly same size. Okay, zoom out. Right there, just a little bit. There you go. Okay, if you look, and we'll change seed right now, age, same seed for the small or big plant. It's not necessarily working for us very well. Okay, like teeny tiny, and I want it different sizes. I want this size is change depend if I want it up or down. So for this one, we'll go and create smooth map. Let's go create right here, filter. Let's go create smooth map. We'll connect this to the age. It's what we're going as it's growing. And our values now, and this one will be from 0. And remember, our age is 10. So we'll say from 0 to 10. It's what we want to map it. The nice things about, we don't necessarily can map all of this. We can say, hey, start working when it's age only 1. But for now, we'll go from 0 to 10. Okay, and we'll set from 0 here. And we'll look what our output value we needed, because we'll need combine with our input. And combine these, we want to use actually Blender. So let's go in Combiners, and we'll just select Blender. In a Blender, we want to take those two values, one from here and our smooth map, and we actually want to kind of mix them together. Okay. Let's go to Blender and instead just add. So we'll add one parameter with another, and I'll be sure it's set 1. So it's just a set value of top and value of second. But if we do this, what we have one output here and one output there. So if we do these connections, we'll end up actually with, instead radius 1, we'll end up with radius 2 in some cases. So instead doing that, like right here, it's end up with radius 2, we actually need to blend those parameters together, and we can have it one mapping before, or we can adjust some another mapping. So either way, because we know our parameters can be from 1 to 2. And by the way, if you want to look on those parameters, you can always go display and like node observer, which just help us to see sometimes the value. So you can see how it's increasing from input to 10, and here we have it switch. So it does help to observe as parameters working, but without confusion. I'm just turning off right now. But overall, we have it too. So is our decision, or we want to put smooth map before or after. It doesn't matter. In the case, I'll just put it on output. Oops, right here. Let's go to drag from this. We'll go to smooth map, and our smooth map from 0 to 1. And our output can be from 0 to, for example, this is on a season 0.8. So I want this effect more. Okay, we'll connect to input. But this smooth map will have it from 0, and our output may be 0.2. So combined together, the highest value, it will be 1, because 0.8 and 0.2. But effect of the age will affect less. If you want more, you always can change, for example, 0.5 here, and this map is 0.5. That way, they equally will affect size. So let's observe this. Example, we're going to our age, and you can see how it's shrinking about halfway down. It's increasing. And same, if we're going summer, you can see it's shrinking quite a bit down. So we have it smaller. Let's go small. And there is a shrink quite a bit. And here's what we need to watch, because if with the seasons we'll go down, okay, and a small age, I don't know if it's still be there, kind of too small. So maybe we'll need it effect of the age less. So let's go back to smooth map here, parameters, and maybe set this to 0.3 effect only, and our other smooth 0.7. So seasons will affect a little bit better than otherwise. Actually, so we have it add. Maybe I put it differently. So let's go ahead. Our edge will a little bit more, 0.7. There you go. And a smooth map, 0.3. There you go. It's just affecting a little bit. Again, play around and let's go to edge, zoom out right there. Okay, you can play a little bit more around to see which one, how it will work for you. But we can also check right here and let's go 10 maximum edge. So this is our full growing plant with our seed. Go ahead, play a little bit more with these settings if you need it, see which one, what proportion you want it. Overall, here I just want to show you how we can connect them to control our seed. Okay, let's actually change color on the seed. And again, changing node color, it's purely aesthetical, so it's nothing to do with functionality. And because it's connecting, actually, you know what, let's go to change this to red. And the reason is why. So we know it's all controlling seed, and we can connect multiple nodes, and we'll just change color on them as well to red. So we know that all correspond will be to our seed. Okay, our seed kind of done. It's connecting to our age and to our seasons. Now on a flower, we want to create a petals, and the petals of the flower, of course, under element. So for this one, we'll probably want to connect new element. And remember, always save your work as you're going along. And for this, let's go right click. Actually, let's kind of collapse these ones. We don't need to see them too much. So I'm just right here, make them smaller. Okay, we'll right click. And we're going to create something on the top, and create this. We want to, for the petals, several ways we can create as a new branch and just put on the top. But in some case for the flower, I've found out that Hydra work very good. So we call this center petals. So let's go central petals. We'll just call this way. And you know what? Let's go to color, maybe yellow color for this. Okay, something like right there. And we'll go connect as a new child. By itself, the Hydra, it's not visible. It just allowed us to connect stuff. But I know it is probably spread all over, and we need to put it on the top. Okay, to put on the top, we'll go to our stem. We'll select center pad, and same as before, we'll say tip of the segment and take our angle to 0 and other one. So this is now on top. We will readjust this. We'll probably want a little bit drop down because it will go over seed, but for now it's that location. Next, let's go create some little bit of the petals around there. So we'll go create geometry and new branch segment. You can use a different type of the segments if you want it. Branch, it's very common, it's a basic one. Other ones, it's all based on about same, it's just a little bit of variation on the preset. So it doesn't really matter what you're using, but as long we kind of know what parameters we're modifying there. And same things, we'll just go ahead, create yellow color, and let's connect it. So right now, you can see a little bit how they're sticking out. This is our petals will be. What we want to do, we want to take them and kind of drop a little bit below. Also on a seed is depend how you want to do it, because sometimes it's nice to have them on the bottom, but if you feel you want to cut off, you can always going and little bit remove on the start and end. So like right here, this is top will be, we'll just take on a start and we'll just cut a little bit right from the bottom. So let's go look. You can see right here we just cut some of those seed elements. I think this way look a little bit better. Okay, let's go back to our center pad and let's go right here. We'll just rename it as well. And at this point, I think we can actually expand a little bit, because what we want to do, it is also control a little bit of our elements in the future. So let's go ahead and expand it, and expand it here. Additional parameters, let's go all the way, and we'll expand here, transform, oops, children. Okay, right here we'll go with a segment link, so we can play with all of the settings. Let's go first work on our petals, and I'm just saying creating this as a default, so we don't need to worry too much about this. I'm just setting as 25, quite a bit long. We will control them, so don't worry too much. Just to preview at this point. And our radius, let's go modify. We'll just take this. We'll get by the age, but we'll take and just shrink them down. So maybe like this. You can totally remove them. I'll just keep it for a second till we connect. So let's go click OK. And we want to enable blades. So this is our actual petals. Let's go to work a little bit on a width for them. We'll just add 2 points. We'll take this, bring it down, and as well this one, and connect profile to smoother. So we'll have it something more interesting, something like this. Okay, that should look okay. One thing what I want to do, I want to enable after size. And because we'll start growing with them, after size help us to keep right shape for those petals. Okay, this is, we can play a little bit more maybe with shape, with other things. Again, remember, this is just our examples to see how they work. Okay, so this is preset. Now, how do I want to control them? I want control link base it on multiple factors. I want control by season, definitely, and I want control by age. We could add also additional control by health, and we'll probably do something with this, maybe make curling them differently depending on age. But right now on health, but right now let's do connect them based on age. For this, we'll need create actually couple elements that we already done before. One, it will be input selector. Okay, so we can control our seasons. And let's do this. Let's go ahead and right click, and we'll go to our filters. Okay, actually these, yeah, we'll do inner filters. Let's create smooth map right now. Okay, so we'll put right here. This will help us to maps up elements. Okay, let's go also in a combiner, and we'll just add one more blender. This will blender for us to connect age and health together. And let's go again to our combiners and select input selector. Okay, so all of this will help us to control. So in one on input selector, we'll expand, and our selector is controlled by seasons. Okay, and we'll just connect one thing. In a winter, it's definitely cold, so we want to create new constant number, and it will be 0 for our first. So our link of our petals is 0. And next, we can actually we can just take our input for 1 season, 2 seasons, and 3 seasons. So it's our spring. We can modify differently, but I think that this way, by set by 4, it's just visually easy to see what's actually going on here. Okay, so that is our set. Next, we want to control the age. So age is definitely will control to our smooth map, and a smooth map will help us to preset the link we want to achieve maximum. So for this one, let's go with a set, and again we have it from 0 to 1 here, And from 0 to, you know what, let's go 15. Actually, we get more from 10, actually from 0 to 10, because our age is 10. So in this case, we'll switch from that and we'll add to 10. So next, let's go to, okay, I'll move this up. We'll move this just, oops, slightly down so we can preview them a little bit better. And our blender will take our smooth map and we'll take our input. And you know what, we maybe want kind of modify a little bit on this input, because maybe playing a little bit with parameters, I think it will be a little bit too small. So let's go ahead and a filter and another smooth map and place this smooth map between, like right here. So in this case, we have these two maps that help us. And our blender, remember, we'll want to switch add. Let's go all the way. So we add, and we'll go connect to the link. Oh, it's become too big. So let's go ahead, check our map. From our first inspections, we'll have it from, again, 0 to 0. And here's a way we want to stop. So actually in the winter, I don't want to start growing instantly in the winter. So I say 0.2 maybe. And I want finish growing closer to like fall, and fall will be 0.75. So 0.65 maybe closer to the fall, the petals stop growing in size. So this is my limited, I'm bracketing what values I want to start accepting. So my output, it will be 0. So I don't want minus, but you know, we can add 15. So it will be quite a bit bigger. And it's worked very well for some of the flowers. Again, you can modify a little bit more on the parameters, depending on what you like to do. But I think this way, for us, it's worked very well. So it's showing our link. Let's just test, see what's going on. So right here with our age, you can see how small are they getting. So we don't want big leaves for the small flower, but it's still doing very good. And our seasons, so fall, it's almost doesn't growing. But if we're going a little bit more to the spring, summer, there you go, and we set. And it set our 0.2 in lower value, allowed us to have those preset size. Okay, I need to look a little bit more, but I think in the fall, on a actual winter, we don't want any of them. So we want actually display 0. And right here you can see we have it 0. The problem is only where we have it, because with the blender, it is we adding. Instead, using the add, we probably want to use it our minimum. So let's go ahead and we'll set minimum. What it will happen, it will select the minimum value from all of them. So it's meaning if the age is 0, the value it will be minimal for our, okay, let's go just pop up maybe 1. So if we look, okay, where's our, right here, we almost don't have anything because our season is produced 0. So if we're going to change our season to spring, that will increase right there, teeny tiny. Of course, they're a little bit spread out. And this is good time to actually fix couple. Like, for example, we can say our radius is 1. Let's set radius 0.1. So they will be very close together. Okay, don't worry about numbers. We'll work on that. And we'll left. Fine. Okay, next we'll say, okay, let's go setup. And let's go say our summer. And they kind of don't really grow because our minimum is still for age. So age still be smaller than our summer. And we'll look right here. Our probably going from 0 to 15. 15 is maximum. And here from 0 to 2. So if we're going inside and it's time, and instead this will start work with age, you can see how the leaves start, or petals start growing bigger and bigger. So woo, let's go right here. And again, if we make smaller, they decreasing in size. So this is actually help us to connect between age of our plant and versus on what time of the season. And this is the reason why we're using minimum. But be sure your highest value, because it's not adding, it's what you wanted. So if I want 20 instead, like this, I can go maximum age, maximum, I don't want, like right here. And I want bigger petals. I want to be sure my both values set to maximum I want it. So now it's at 20. I think we'll leave it like this maybe, or 15 was actually a bit, with 15 I think we can see inside. Okay, by the way, till you're watching this tutorial, and if it's become a little bit complex for you, all of these videos, for those who is Patreon supporters, you will download all of that, all done project and planned. You can download it and look directly on. Or if you purchase this video, same, it will come with all assets pack, with all textures and everything. So you can easy open and follow up with this. And for Patreon supporters, thank you very much for doing this. Your support, it's really helped me to create two new tutorials, and keep it going with this. Okay, this is a little bit step off. Let's go now back. So let's go right now. I want to select this, my inputs. Okay, right here, this, and we'll go to switch to yellow, because I just want to know they're all kind of going to my petals. Okay, so we select this, we created our input. Let's shrink down. And one thing with constant, I will leave it here because we're probably going to use, most time what I found out, the default like 0 and 1, we most likely will use them in another elements. 0.1 maybe, but I know this one's for sure. So let's go ahead, select those two, and we'll just switch them to like this color. So we know they're constant, they can use it in multiple places. Again, repeating this, the color, does not affect functionality. It's only for you, and it's not real defined. You can set colors you want it. I'll just be sure the global variables that may affect more than one parameter can color one way in this case. Before I do modification to them, I know them probably will affect something else. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's go now also affect hydra growing. And you remember we putting 0 kind of on this. Next, what I want to do with the season, problem is I want those petals to going down, like with the, for example, depend how they're doing, if they're living and all the seasons, and maybe, you know, they're going up, but I want with the fall going a little bit down. So on this case, we actually going to create and work with trapezium. So right here, if we go into petals and we look right now, it's 0.5. So look what's happening if I go opposite. So like this, and I think this is how they probably will look in a fall. So they will go a little bit more down. Also, when it's maybe they're dying, not thriving, they're going down as well. So I want control trapezium for this. And to do this, we'll also going and modify working on a smooth map, probably connecting to our blender. And we already have it right here, nice input selector right there, this one that we already have connect to our seasons as we want it. We don't really care about 0 because in the winter we don't see them, but we do care afterwards. So for this one, let's go create a new smooth map because we need to remap it them. And we'll go to filters and let's go to smooth map right here. And we're going to connect to our output. Okay, this is our one of the smooth map, and our input can be again 0.2. We don't want winter, and we leave it 1 to the fall because it's gonna go as a longer fall. And you know what, trapezium, let's go from 0.6 to minus 0.6. The one thing, because I'm going minus, if you look right here on the parameters on trapezium, let's look what's happening. So we'll put it 0.6 is going up, and if we're putting minus 0.6, then they're going down. So I just want to go this way, fall down. spring up. So this is our one map. And but I also want this effect with a property like, for example, health. So in a health, we can also affecting maybe drop down as well even more. So let's go ahead. We'll go create new smooth map. And we'll connect this to our health. Okay, and a health, what we have it's from 200%, but its output is 0 to 1. And we'll just leave it. If it's healthy, no effect, 0. And if it's not healthy, -1. So we'll just start affecting even on when it gets healthy. So let's go ahead next, create it blender. Okay, and in a blender, we actually want to leave it as add, and we'll go 1. Okay, actually, you know what? Let me look what we do in this blender. 1, 1. Okay. So now let's go ahead and connect all of this. 1. Input 0. And if we expand, it's probably a little bit easy. Let's go zoom in. Click on a plus and put this 2. Okay, so right here we have a 2. 1 is connected to health. Actually, this connecting to health, and this is to other ones. There you go. Now, I want to take output and connect to Chopine. So look what's happening. Now we have it straight. And let's go look on the setup what's going on. Okay, we're in a fall. We're all healthy. What if it's dying? Oh yeah, look. It's actually going down with a combine. So it does look like a little bit dying plant. And as we're changing, so it is. Okay, now this is a fall. And this is spring. You notice what's going on? It does not going up. And let's see what's going on here. And we're going to display and look on the not observer. Okay, with not observer, we can select smooth map. And right here 0, 1, I see the problem. So our switch is not necessarily work as I want it. Okay, so let's go ahead and first we'll take our smooth map here and we'll say, okay, this is our age and it's work fine from 0 to 1. Okay, and sometimes what's help if we disconnect one, actually we don't necessarily need to disconnect this one. We can just take and set 0 effect. Oh, I see the problem. Problem is a blend. We want add. We don't want blend. We want add. Okay, so let's go ahead, check again. Go set top. There you go. That's better. Okay, so spring is go up. Summer open. And we're going to the fall. And they're going down. Okay, so good. If we're in the summer, let's right now work with the health. And we're going, and health worse and worse. Okay, there you go. I think it's worked good in the fall. Look very sad. One thing, we have too many leaves, I think, right here. And that is our problem, is because with the fall, some of those petals probably fall down or dying. So we want to kind of modify how many of the petals can be there. Right now, if we look on our numbers, we have 12. So I want to control this. Before doing this, let me connect these two and switch them. And you know what? Color, because they're affecting sadness of our plant. I'll make sad color for them as well. Okay, let's go to create new filter smooth map right here. And this smooth map will going to connect to seasons. Probably straight in. You know what? Yeah, let's go to the seasons, and from seasons smooth map, remember we have it from 0 to 1. Maybe, you know what, maybe let's go 0.7, something closer to the fall, because you remember 0.075 it's where fall begin by the scale, and 1 is this. So we'll do from that time, about like fallish time. And our input We'll start with 12. It's what right now. And let's drop to the 6. So it's actually make smaller them. And we'll connect this to the number. Okay, let's go back to setup. We'll go thriving. So we expand. And if we look on these, you can see we have it quite a bit more. And we should start losing. Yep. And we're losing even more. So, and we'll down to just 6 of those. So they're quite a bit decreasing. Yep. On this case, it will look nice. Again, this will look much more valuable. You see the density when you have a lot of those flowers. Okay, so now what we did so far, we control in our plant. Okay, let me also control this one right here, green. I'll just change color. Okay, at this time, we created our map to control number for this center. I think this is kind of working okay. So let's go ahead, save this work again. And our next step, what we want to do, it is start adding those leaves that going on a side of our plant. Right now, I think we're kind of done with this. So let's collapse them, hide them away, and we'll just put them, let's go drop them down. So they will be just a little bit out of the way. Okay, let's go next and create some leaves going on our plant. For this, we'll go create geometry and we'll create a new branch segment. Let's go rename it leaf and we'll go connect. So without dragging, go click and connect to new children. Okay, right here you can see we have those teeny tiny twigs going all over places. So we want that leaf control as well. And we want to control them different ways. First off, let's go set properly how we want them display. Now we'll go on our stem and we'll go click on a leaf connection. And in leaf connections, so number, we can control this differently if we need it. But you know what? Let's go to maybe set, I don't know how many, 2, 3, 4. Let's go plus minus 3. So we'll have it. This is random number assignment. And our start and end, it's what important because you see how far they're going and depend on what kind of flower you're doing. You maybe want to modify this, but I will take this down to maybe like 0.2. So I'll take down almost to the root. So it's going from this area growing. Okay. Next, we'll just end. We have it going from segment. Angle is 30. It's fine. So let's go add maybe 5 to randomness. So a little bit different angle. And I think this is kind of okay going together. We could add blending to the roots a little bit. So it's just have it a little bit nicer right here blending. But I think overall for this small scale, it's not that significant. Next is important for us. It's creating how long the leaf will be. Before that, let's go to inside our leaf and modify a couple things. One, I'm going to create 25 here. Well, you know what, maybe even longer. Let's go create maybe 50 for now. That is will be total control by, oh, maybe even longer. Let's go to 100. The size will be controlled by age and seasons, but for now, just to preview. Next, we want to go ahead and enable blades for this. Okay, and blades will do similar. So we'll go to edit our filter for the shape. We'll add a couple points, take the edges down, like maybe brown here. This bring this down and switch to the smooth. So we'll have a nice kind of curvy leaves going down here. There you go, a little bit smooth. Click OK. Remember again, we'll need it after size and it's worked very well in this case. Okay, I think that is fine. My selections, remember, I'll bring this to 0 and this just like this. So we still have it, but not as visible as happening. And inside the stem, actually, if we look, we want to probably modify a little bit on how it's going, because right now it's kind of going around on the same place. So in the stem leaf, we maybe want to modify this rule and coil. So let's go look on the coil. So we'll just add maybe 40 to this and plus minus 10 degrees. So it just a little bit help us coil around. I think this leaf's a little bit too thick. So let's go back to leaf, and we'll just take blade leaf and just make it a little bit thinner. Okay, save it. And again, this is maybe not yet kind of positioning. We'll see how that position will work later. You always can go in a setup if you need it and click on a random. So the random will help create all these different elements so you can see how they will go. I feel right here, this one coil does not necessarily work. So let's go add a little bit of a rule, maybe 30. And on a roll, let's add 15. Okay, right here, the coil, let's go with 50, plus minus 10. I'm just looking, it does not look right on some percentage. So maybe 90%. So it will coil for 90 each time 90 degrees, and give it a set maybe 15 plus minus. Okay, so between those, I think there will be have enough randomization to create look alike. Okay, so we created the stuff. Next, let's work a little bit on the shape of this. Before we'll just work on a link. And a link of the leaves, actually, I want to, let's go increase right here, close in our segment, and we have it already controlling our link here. So let's just reuse same one. So in this case, we'll just, you can see it's connecting our link to our plant, which is okay. We could, we'll need to figure out how we can little bit randomize that, because currently it's the same link and it's connecting right here. So what we can do, we can minimal link, we can actually work a little bit on that to add randomness to the minimum link. And because we have it 100, so we can say maybe minimum link 100 plus minus 50. I'm just give you example. So you can see it's a change, but now we have it 150. So because of that, we'll need decrease. So let's go ahead. We'll go to filters. Let's create another multiply. Okay, we'll bring inside here, and we'll take our age, create to multiply, create to link, and instead 10, we'll multiply 5 times. Okay, let's go look on our leaves, and because I have it 50, let's go add 50. There you go. So this case will have a different random size leaves, kind of give it a little bit better look on this. So what we did, remember our age, we receive it, and we multiply by 5, so its maximum can have it 50, because 10, age, and 50. So now inside the leaf, we said, okay, minimum link, we want 50 is our minimum, but we want randomize up to 100. So this way, it's our leaves can be anywhere from 50 to 100. You can modify even more if you need it, but again, this is just the effect of randomization. But problem with this, I think minimum link, what is happening when we go to setup now, and we'll go to age. Our minimum will be 50. So you can see with this specific approach, we'll have a problem with this. So maybe we needed also work on this just a little bit later, come back to randomization. But inside the leaf parameters, this one we actually need also to control our minimum length with the randomization. So let's go ahead right now. We'll just set 0, 0 for now, so we don't affect, and we'll come back to how make random. Actually, you know, I maybe like when it's not so tall. We'll figure out. We'll see how the multiplier fits work properly for this, or we want pop up a little bit taller. So next, what I want to do with leaf, it is work a little bit on shape of the leaf. Right now, they're going straight forward. I want to work with a trapezium. It's what we worked before, if you remember. And trapeziums help us to control how leaf look. For this, what we're going to do is move our leaf out, and we're going into the combiners and create a new input selector. So this will be our selector for different seasons. So let's go ahead right now, take seasons and connect to selector. But the problem is I want preset to specific values between. So I'm going to create constant number, copy, and paste 4 times. So right here we have our 4 constant. They will representing each, and okay, right here, let's go select them, and they will represent for us every season. So we'll go greenish, click OK, so we'll know what they selected. Okay, let's go ahead and connect our output to our trapezium. Next, also, let's start connecting our constant. And our first constant that will represent our winter, we actually want to go like a maybe minus 0.1. We'll look on the little bit on the link because we do want to control our link. So let's go ahead. If we have it 0 winter, those leaves, we actually need to work with them a little bit. So we need to hide them. And we can work this a little bit more with the link, but we'll come back. So let's go back right now to our winter, and you can see how they're going around in a winter time. So next one, let's go to the spring, and let's connect to the spring. Set up. Let's go spring, and I think this one we can set our constant. Let's just for now 0.1. Okay. Our next one will go probably about same, maybe a little bit less. Okay, so let's go set 0.05, and this one is 0.01. So we'll don't have too much trapezium on this one. And oops, I don't want to drag the node. I want just connection. Okay, so let's go ahead, look closer, set up, and we have our winter. Leaves down, springs coming up, summer slightly drop down, and fall they drop down more out open. So I think this is a kind of have it nice with seasons. Right now what we're looking at is winter time, and our leaves is quite a bit big, and the reason is right here we have our multiplier set, but we do not control our link, so we needed to create a blender for this. And the blender, we can go just as select. Let's go to connect our combiner. We'll go with the blender. Okay, go right here, expand. Okay, let's move it all of this stuff a little bit. Actually, nice Christmassy color. And we're going to connect multiplier to input 1. Or input 0, and our seasons to input 2. So in the blender, we want to set minimum again. Let's go set 1 here, and okay, adjusting, and we'll connect this one to the link. So what's happening now, if you look on setup, as we going spring, going up, up, up. So we don't have minimum, we're selecting for our season, and our season from 0 to 1. So let's go also set multiplier for that. And we'll go to, actually we can multiplier or we can map it. Because reason is our link is 25. So let's go ahead and create smooth map. How I said before, we'll have a lot of maps done. Okay, and we'll just connect seasons to smooth map. And remember, our link can be multiplied by 550. So we want to actually 10. If we go, yeah, let's go right now for full size just to see how it's happened. So 10, and our smooth map, we'll have it from 0 to 1. And here we can have it from 0 to 100. Okay, except maybe not 0, maybe 0.2, because we don't want, and the same, we don't want to leave grow up. So we'll stop right here, and we'll connect this to our input 1. And what's happening now, so leaf doesn't grow, and a summer, they start growing more and more, and 0 here. There you go. So I think this is kind of locking. Okay, and it's also shrinking with the age. Fall, okay, let's go right here. And winter, they don't necessarily dropping. I like when they drop a little bit. Maybe should put it in a fall when they're going more down. So let's go ahead in a fall and set minus 0.1. So kind of, oh, too much. Okay, minus 0.05. There you go, a little bit better. And again, I want to modify maybe these ones to about 60, so they won't be so long, and multiply by 6. So in this case, okay, let's go ahead, select those two, and just set our node color, something like right there. Okay, right now what we did with our leaves, we can control, and let's zoom out. Look what we have. We have our plant kind of done, and our plant is currently linked to the health. And you know what? We can also link a little bit health on the leaves if we need it. But you can see, this is our dying plant. Okay, our thriving plant. We also have it on our age, so we have it smaller or bigger. And it's not just a scale, it's also properly changing amount, so we can do that one as well. And also based on a winter, spring, summer, and fall. So we have it all as different seasons right now applied to the shape of our plant. You can add way more nodes that can affect. Overall, in this portion of video, what I want to show you, it is how we can go ahead and create a plant, and we can use it age, season, and health, combine, multiply, and blend between their interactions to affect our plant. Okay, go ahead at this moment. You can go ahead, pause this tutorial if you wanted, this video, and go spend time just to play around. Just add maybe something new, just maybe modify, add another wings, add maybe strings or something spread out of the plant. So this is just give you ideas how to use it, blend between different type, age, season, and health, how you can blend them, affecting and putting them out. So in the next portions, we'll start working with materials. So we'll see how we can go work and apply a different type of materials based on this plant. Again, thank you for watching this video, and be sure to watch second part when we start working with materials that we're going to put it on a plants. Again, please support on the Patreon. Your help is greatly appreciated.